Here's a substitution question where you have to decide which variable you want to solve for in which equation. Now, every single one of these has a coefficient on it, so whenever I have a question like this, I'm going to check whether or not the coefficients can divide evenly into the other numbers. I'll start with this -3 here. Can I take my -3 and divide it into this -4 and get a whole number? Well, the answer to that is no. So I'm probably not going to solve the top equation for x. Now I'm going to check for y. Can I take this -4 here and divide it into the -3 here and get a whole number? No, you can't. So I'm probably not going to solve that equation for y either. So from there, I'm going to check my bottom equations. Can I take this 3 that's on x, divide it into the other numbers, the 3 on y, and get a whole number? Yes, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Then I need to check, can I divide this 3 on x into the constant over here? Can I divide 3 into -3 and get a whole number? The answer is yes, I'll get -1. So this is going to be my choice. This is the one I want to isolate. I also could isolate y there because the 3 on the y can divide into everything, but I'm just going to choose the x here. So in order to do this, I'm going to subtract 3y from each side, and I now have 3x equals -3y minus 3. I divide each term by 3 to clear the coefficient, so I'm left with x equals -y minus 1. So this entire process right here is just to isolate x in the bottom equation. Now I'm going to rewrite the system so I can actually start solving it by using replacement. Since I solved the bottom equation, I'm going to take that value for x, I'm going to plug it into the top. I'm going to be careful because there's a -3 in front of there. So that is something that I'm going to have to distribute in to effectively answer this question. -3 times -y is 3y. -3 times -1 is +3. I carry the other stuff down. I combine like terms. 3y minus 4y is -y. I subtract 3 from each side. 2 minus 3 is -1. I divide each side by -1 to isolate y, and I get y equals +1. I now need to take that value, plug it into the equation that I adjusted, so I can get x. If x is -y minus 1, and I'm plugging in a +1 for y, you got to be careful to keep that negative in front of it because you can't just drop it. -1 times 1 is -1. -1 minus 1 is going to give you -2. So there's my x value. And just like all the other equations and systems we've done, write your answer as an ordered pair, x first, then y. So your answer here is -2, 1.